Hey Twitches, it's Emma. Today I want to talk about my 7 hand tics, and there's probably more of them, or at least there has been more of them over the years, but these are the ones that I could think of, and these are the ones that I currently have. Maybe you can relate to some of these tics, and if you can't, then you can see what Tourette's is like for my hands. I also kind of wanted to show some of these tics that are like not on the usual charts that show you examples of tics, because tics can be a lot of things. They're not always just the usual coughing, sniffling, clearing your throat type things. They can be other things too that you may have never even thought of. So let's get into my hand tics. Do I say hand weird? Hand tics. Number 1, clapping and digging my fingernails into my hand as a redirection. This tic started as just clapping. I don't even remember when exactly I started doing the redirection, but I think it was because I was being disruptive at school and I was like, okay, I need to do something that kind of feels like the clapping tic, but is not exactly the clapping tic. I know it was around high school time because I remember being in tests and being stressed that I had to clap, and then, you know what, that made me want to clap more. I say want to clap, but really it's, you know, a tic, so I needed to clap. There's no stopping it. I found that digging my fingernails into my hands gave the same sensation as clapping, so that has really helped me out over the years, especially in like high school, college, and even after, whenever I've had to be in quiet places and needed to do the clapping tic. I do still do both though, because sometimes the urge can be so severe that I can't just redirect it. I need to actually clap my hands. So yeah, you can find me clapping and digging my fingernails into my hand. Another hand tic is rubbing my fingers together like this, but especially what I do the most is rubbing my thumb and my pointer finger together. That happens a lot. This tic made it really hard for me to wear gloves when I was younger. Like, I would go out into the snow without gloves all the time. I would try to make snowballs and my hands would get messed up. My parents bought me mittens, and like I said, I do this a lot, and there's still fabric in between those two fingers in a mitten. So I'd usually just end up taking the mittens off anyway. And I found that not wearing gloves or mittens at all was my most comfortable option, believe it or not, even though my hands were, like I said, messed up. My third hand tic, wrist tensing and bending. I do this a lot before I pick things up. I've shown this in my vlogs when I've tried to pick up like mugs and stuff. It happens a lot before picking up mugs. I don't know, that's just like a little tic trigger for me. Thankfully, this wrist bending and tensing one is not like super dominant and doesn't happen super often, because I feel like I'd be in a lot of pain if it did. My next tic, maybe my most cringy tic, is my nails pushed together tic. Yeah. I remember when this tic first started and I would cringe like so hard at it. And I do still cringe at it from time to time. It is still cringy. This tic has made my nails look weird a lot of the time, especially when it happens more often than not, because, you know, I'm pushing my nails together, it kind of pushes the nails down. And especially on my right hand, that nail really feels the grunt of it a lot. It gets pushed down quite a bit. And sometimes when it's really bad, my nails break down to like the pink part, and then it hurts really bad because get this, I have to keep doing the tic. I don't clip my nails usually, because if I did, then doing this tic would hit the pink. I keep calling it the pink, but you know, the pink part of your nails. It would hit that a bit more, and I'm not down for that. I'd rather my nails just start breaking a bit. Yeah. And it's usually my pointer fingers that I push together, but it can be other fingers. It's just usually not. It's usually these babies right here, these puppies. Another hand tic that I have that also includes my nails is my bending nails tic. I was honestly really scared when this one started because I thought I'd be like reenacting my own Saw scenes. It's so cringy. Obviously it can hurt sometimes, but thankfully I don't do it super hard to the point where I'm pulling off my nails. I bend them both ways, but I usually bend them in more, so let me show you. It's not super cringy to watch because I'm not doing it really hard, but warning. That's it. That's the guy, the man of the hour. Another hand tic is rubbing my wrists together. This is, your wrist is part of your hands, right? I kind of rub them together like how you do when you're trying on perfume. At least that's what it makes me think of. And my last hand tic is, that's right, snapping. This is the one that I call my poetry slam tic because you do that in poetry slams. And when it happens when I'm like watching a show, I feel like I'm snapping for the show. So like, you're welcome. It doesn't make me sore or anything. It doesn't happen enough to make me sore. So that's cool. Okay, I don't know if I got all of my actual hand tics. Those are the ones that I could think of and that are presently in my tic repertoire. I said that weird, didn't I? My tic repertoire. Repertoire. Yes. Well, I hope you got some insight into what tics can be like, and thanks for watching, and also, you could comment, and probably you should subscribe. Thanks, Twitches. Bye!